Welcome back to the second episode of the Viewer Discretion Advised podcast. Today, I am joined by my friend HHPurge, also known as Brandon. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing amazing.
Well, I guess... So, a little
a
little exhausted, fair enough. A little backstory on me and Brandon. I have known Brandon since late 2009 or early 2010. One of the two.
I think it was 2009.
2009. We met in first grade, and we've been friends since then. So, going on to, 14 years now? Something like that. I've been through thick and thin with this kid. We've played sports throughout the years. His family has treated me like their own. His mom also calls me one of her own kids at most times. Sometimes more than him, so that gives a little bit of backstory.
You're a stepchild.
Yep. She calls me a redhead stepchild because I am a redhead. Not very easy to see in this lighting. It's weird. So, I guess first topic of conversation that we can go into is you just moved out from your parents for the first time ever. So, how has that been? I know it's only been like a day or so, but how has it been so far?
That's very quiet. But I don't have my mom coming into my room and telling me to do something for her. My dad coming in my room telling me to go outside. I didn't have a problem with it, but it's just it is also pretty hard because we just went to Mars, got some food for today. We haven't really gotten any snacks at all.
Oh, I can tell you're gonna be house broke for a while.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be living check to check for the first 3 months.
I guarantee you when I move out, my first, I'm going to be living off ramen noodles and, $1 pizzas from the store for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, we just bust up for spaghetti because we thought we were having people over today, but they just canceled last minute.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... Oh, God, I had a train of thought there and I lost it completely. I don't know where I was going from that, so I guess we'll just kind of move on. It'll come back to me when I'm not thinking about it. So, I guess we can just really go into the portion of talking about you, learning about you, and everything. That's what we did on the very first episode, and that's what we're going to keep doing for this podcast whenever I have a guest. So, I know almost everything about you, considering we've been together for, as friends for 14 years now, almost.
Yeah.
But obviously the viewers do not. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, some hobbies, interests, what you do for work, how you like to spend your time, what you like to do, all that type of shit. Just give a good old college try of just telling everybody about yourself.
Well, I work for this welding company. Not gonna give any names, but we build tankers. We repair tankers like septic tanks, oil tanks. We do stuff for consumers back when. My hobbies, me and him played football for the past few years together. We still
few.
What?
Few. It's been 10.
Potato. I like to hit the gym sometimes. I play games when I want to, with my fiance. I can hear myself like that.
How about now?
Yeah, I think that worked. Oh, what am I missing?
Bear with me, people. I'm going to be close right up in your face and personal for 1 second. Alright, there we go. Turn the volume down a little bit.
I think that's about it, I'm a sports guy.
Well, you play, or did, at least during high school, you played 3 sports?
In high school, I played 3 sports all throughout the school year. I played football in the fall, I did wrestling in the wintertime, and then I did baseball in the spring.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well then I guess we can move on to another topic, is the sports portion. Because knowing that we have both played for many years, I'd like to go down and dissect each of your different sports. I guess we can start with like baseball and then go into wrestling, and then we can go into like the high school football portion, and then after that we can talk about a little bit of what me and you did last year and going to keep doing this year this year at least. So I guess first start with baseball. When you started, what positions you played, how you did, favorite coaches, all that type of stuff.
The first year I did baseball, I want to say in second grade. I had one of my buddies come up to me and say, "Hey, you're new, come play baseball." And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay. Fucking Canadian.
And the coach I had is actually my family doctor. He wanted to try me out in outfield. Right. I didn't really play outfield position. I just played all of them, all throughout youth baseball. But I would say my best play I had was during a playoff game. Sixth grade, I want to say. We were going against Central Lake, and there's a ball hit right over my head, over in right field. And I kind of like Odell'd that bitch and caught it. And this dude that I did the All-Star game with, he was the pitcher for that team. We called him Butterball, or Butterbean. And he came up to me and he's like, "Dude, that was the most nastiest catch I've ever seen."
That you could do as a sixth grader.
That I could do as a sixth grader, yes. We called him Butterbean because he was kind of like JV. He was short and stubby.
Yep, I know who you're talking about. I remember him.
He was playing varsity when he was in 8th grade, pitching. Me and him kept in contact for a while, and he was showing me all of his highlights. He was in 8th grade playing varsity.
Dang.
And I thought that was crazy.
All right, so then, since we're still on the baseball topic, you wanna inform everybody about your mark left at our high school on the baseball field?
Oh yeah. So, when we were freshmen, we just got this new baseball field at the high school, and this was the first. I was still on JV at the time, and we were just. I want to play. We were playing St. Francis, TC St. Francis at the time, and there was this ball hit out of bounds, but I didn't know anything about it. I just started bolting that way, trying to catch it. And my whole body, banged off of the fence and left a big old indent.
Yes.
Still there to this day.
Yep, there is the brand new chain link fence. This man ran into it, and there is a indent kind of in the outline of his body in a sense. Obviously not some Roadrunner type shit, but the size that he was at the time, there is an indent that size in this brand new chain link fence. And
the head coach and the assistant coach came over to me. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm over here laughing my ass off.
Well, yeah, I would be too. Run into a fence, be like, that kind of hurt. Anyway, that was kind of funny.
It didn't hurt as more as it was a shock.
Yeah.
I was shocked that it was there. Because I thought the ball was going to land. I knew the fence was there, but I thought it was going to land, close to it.
Not over it.
Not over it. Yeah.
All right, so then I guess the next one would be wrestling. When did you start that? What have you done in wrestling? What were some of the big things that you did in wrestling? Conferences or awards? How'd that go?
Well, I started in 3rd grade. I did that for a little bit. And then I quit that for a while. And then I had some of my buddies when I was a freshman say, "Hey," or actually it was the AD at the time, saying, "You're a football guy. If you want to get better at football, come do wrestling." And he was the most persuasive son of a bitch you could ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the head coach, before we came to high school. So they taught me up and all that. My freshman year, I didn't win like a whole lot because it was technically my first year.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to Barcelona, we went against this. It was a team match, but since we had all, my spot was filled. My weight class, I was 135 at the time. I got moved over to Houghton Lake's team to play with them because they only had like 3 or 4 people on their team. Something that Barcelona does to give us some more matches.
Mm-hmm.
But even though if we win, it still gets added to our team points.
Mm-hmm.
So we went against Manton, and I beat the kid in 10 seconds. Not 10 seconds, like 20, 30 seconds, somewhere around there. And, my whole entire team came over, congratulated me on my first win, yada, yada. My best match I had was my junior year in districts. I was going against this dude from Lake City. We were wrestling out, reversal after reversal, and then he picks me up and like power slams me on my head. And it took me a little bit. The athletic trainer came over, checked on my head, and he asked, "Are you okay to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, put me in, coach. I got this." And so, we were starting up in neutral, and I gave this kid the most iconic death stare you can never give anyone. So we started, and I took him down, and I pinned him in a full tilt in like 5 seconds.
Damn.
And then when we got up, the ref raised my hand, and I was looking at him the whole time.
Teach your ass to power slam me.
Yeah, and off the mat, JB told me that his dad was talking shit the whole time I was down. So I looked at him, and then I looked back to his dad because I knew who his dad was because he was standing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walked out.
He gone.
Yeah.
All right. So then, what's next? Football. We'll start with just high school football because the other stuff I'd like to talk about as well because we did it together and it's fairly fresh in my mind. So,
all right.
High school football, at least for junior and senior year, I can add in on any stories, but freshman and sophomore I cannot because I did not play football with you during that time. Best year of football that you had? Well, actually. Actually.
I will say this. My freshman year, I did break my thumb during, I think it was Elk Rapids. And then I took off a game. The coach wanted me to take off a game against Bourne City to let my thumb heal a little bit more. And then the next week we had Kingsley, and you know how Kingsley are. They're a bunch of trash talkers, but they get the job done.
Yeah. They're a team where they can trash talk because they are actually good.
Yeah. But I got in that game. I want to say I had like 12, 13 tackles on defense. I was playing inside linebacker. And then I knew the announcer who was doing that because he's a good, well-known cop around where we are. And he came over to me and said, "Dude, you gotta stop making tackles." I had a hard time trying to say your name half the time. But junior and senior year was rough. Junior year, I felt like we could have gotten a lot more done with that new coach.
Yeah, we could have.
Like if he stayed with us senior year, I feel like we would have at least gotten like 2 or 3 more wins.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even our last game of our junior year, we almost won. But the issue we ran into a lot of time is that our teammates
were cocky.
They were cocky. They didn't want to play as a team. They wanted to be the star. And then by halftime, they were gassed out, so they just really stopped trying to play. There was a few of us, which definitely I would say I was one of them, and you were too, where we would be gassed out by halftime, but yet we kept giving it our all. Because, it's like we have like an hour. we have 60 minutes. We need to give it our all for 60 minutes. That's all we need. After the 60 minutes are done, then we can be tired.
Yeah, for real.
Especially when it came to one of our coaches. He was also my sophomore basketball coach. So he knew how to talk to me and everything because I have performance anxiety, or I did when it came to sports. And I was also a lot taller and a lot bigger than a lot of kids growing up, so I was always trying to be careful not to hurt them because I didn't want to hurt anybody, by roughhousing or playing or whatever.
Tell him the story about during practice what he told you when I was lined up right across from you.
I don't remember that one.
When he was water boy, he was doing the water boy. He was
yeah. So this man, there was another thing he did all the time, and it eventually started pissing me off. So with him, with Brandon here, he basically pulled the water boy method. Imagine the quarterback is your mom, and that man in front of you wants to take her out. And I've gotten that mentality because at first I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I'm like, no, I'm going to try it. It could work. Got the mentality of this motherfucker right here going to take out my mama. It ain't happening. Hike. I hit him. There was another... Yeah, well, that one was right on your ass. There was another time when we were doing, one-on-one... No, it wasn't one-on-one drills. It was actual... team practices.
Offensive. We were doing offense, and then it's called defense.
Yeah. Offense versus defense, essentially. I was on offense. I was a left tackle at the time. The defensive end that was playing, he was another tall kid like me. He was about a year younger. And in high school, with me at least, when people, I guess you could say, got too big for their britches, tried to, test you, it irritated me because it's like, dude, I've been nice to you. I don't know why you're being an asshole to me, but I don't like it. There's no reason for you to be an asshole to me. You're just being a jerk. So this kid, and another thing in football, Brandon can attest to this, the one thing that I hate the absolute most is being grabbed. I hate it when people grab my jersey, in any sport. If they grab my jersey and try and whip me, the thing I hate the most. So this kid tried to do it or whatever, because, it's understandable in football, but you're trying to grab their shoulder pads, not their jersey, and whip them. You're trying to grab their shoulder pads, throw them out of the way. That is something that's understandable. But he was just trying to, grip my shoulder pads on my jersey, or the jersey on my shoulder pads, and just trying to rip me away, which he wasn't able to, because I'm probably, at least a good 4 inches, 100 pounds heavier than this kid. Plus, he was kind of just being a jerk throughout the day. And, it started getting heated or whatever because he grabbed me, so I grabbed him, and I was throwing him. And he puffed up his chest, walked up, tried close to me. I basically face palmed him in his face mask, pushed him away. Coaches were like, hey, knock it off, use it during practice. Next play. Kid's heated, so am I. Hike. I lay his ass out. Play after that, I believe. I was supposed to just ignore this kid and go up for a linebacker. Well, Brandon was playing defense at the time, and guess what? He was the first one that came across my face. He was the first one that came across my path. That's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to hit him. I'm still upset, still very angry, still feeling the adrenaline. I'm still going because I also just laid a kid out, so I'm feeling good. We're going. Brandon didn't realize that I was going, because they told us to go hard, but, obviously not to hurt people like your quarterback or anything like that. And so Brandon was going hard, but he wasn't going 100%, full speed trying to hit people. I was pissed. I'm running. Brandon comes, sees me as I'm 3 feet away from him. Boom, hit him. He goes flying, not really flying back, but he goes on his ass and does some sort of... Okay, I want to preface this right now. This kid right here is athletic as hell. He's 5'7", 5'8", 150 pounds, 160. This kid was doing backflips in his living room at 3 years old. Okay, this dude is athletic. So I hit him. He gets knocked on his ass, but does a somersault, pops back to his feet, and he's like, damn! Next play. Same thing. I go to run. first person to cross my path. It was like the corner of the safety or whatever, because that's just where I was going, because it was coming towards my side of the field, so I was just hitting anyone I could. Came across my path. Brandon was almost on the other side of the field, or the other side of the play. I come running up, hit this kid. What did he say, Brandon?
Oh, fuck.
Yep. I run up, you hear, oh, fuck! And I launched a kid about 5 feet behind him on his ass. His feet physically come off the ground and land on him, and he lands on his back. So
That was funny.
Yeah. So then I guess we can kind of transition from high school, because did you win any games your freshman year?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we won 3.
So junior to senior, or sophomore to junior, sophomore to senior for Brandon, junior to senior for me, we did not win a single game. Not one. Sophomore year, there was a new coach from what there had been from years past who was a playoff level coach. He had actually gone to playoffs and won a few of them.
He also went to college for a quarterback.
Yep,
he would have went to the NFL if he didn't bang up his knee, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a classic one of those that would have made it to the NFL if it wasn't for an injury, which in his case was real, not someone bullshitting. Really athletic guy, really good, really knowledgeable in the game of football, really great coach. And so, sophomore year, there was this new coach, was not a good coach, didn't really know the game of football, ran the players through hell with physical workouts, stole money from the school as well, got fired, all that type of stuff, was not a good person or a good coach, ruined the football program. Next year, there's this new coach.
The only good thing that came out of him was the Jumbotron.
Yeah, he pushed for a new Jumbotron for field, but that was about it. And got it.
Good, because we needed a new scoreboard.
Yeah, we did. So then the next year after that was a coach from, I believe, he was downstate, came up here. Good coach, really knowledgeable in football. Got screwed over because he had to basically build this program from the ground up again. And then our senior year was the original coach, not the one that screwed everything over, but the playoff level coach, the one that almost went to the NFL. He came back because our coach from our junior year got a better job offer to an actual university to coach. So he had to take that offer up. So then we got the original coach back, and we lost all of our games as well. But he also had to build on a spotty program that was already in its first stages of trying to be rebuilt. So, besides his freshman year, we had not won a game in over 2 or 3 years. So, this past year, me and Brandon had actually played semi-pro football, where the only requirement for semi-pro is that you have to be at least 18 years old. That is the only requirement.
What's 17 with parents' consent?
Well, yeah, but you gotta be.
At least this was on, because I talked to the owner about it, and he said that you could join when you're 17 with players' consent or parents' consent.
Okay, so 17 with consent, or if you didn't have your parents' consent, 18 to sign up by yourself. Since it's semi-pro, we had to pay for everything. We had to pay for our gear, our helmet, our pads, everything. Had to pay a team fee because we were not playing on actual the fields that we were playing on. We had to pay whoever owned those fields to play on them. And we went across our entire state, and we went undefeated up until our last normal season game from a team that had came into the league late because there were some other teams. But semi-pro, we've gone up against people who are 40, and there's also teams from places that are not the greatest places, there's people with guns and a lot of crime and everything as well. So there was a few teams that were kicked out of the league for some things that they did at the games that were big no-nos because it put the lives of everybody else in danger, and the league was not going to have that because they wanted a nice league that people could come and enjoy and play football with. People who still wanted to play football out of high school who couldn't. Or people who couldn't go to a college level. This is a good in-between of high school and college. So we played them, and yeah, the last team we went up against in our normal season joined in late. Everyone didn't like them. They had a bunch of players from different teams, which come to find out a lot of their players shouldn't have been even able to play because it was illegal for them to play, yet they still did it. They played like 3 games. After they beat us, which our team, we played good. It's just, I don't know what was going on with that team. Something was up about them. They played good as well, but they were also very nasty. A lot of the times the refs were not on our side because we were the number 1 team for most of the year. People did not like going against us because we would beat them. I think the worst we beat somebody this year was 64-0, our team. We had like the number 1 QB in the entire league. We also had the number 1, I think, offense or number 2 offense and number 1 defense in the league as well. So we were a really good team. And then, so we were 9-1, and then in the championships we lost because it was a very big game for our team, and a lot of people were panicking, not playing as a team, because a lot of them, it was possibly their last game ever, because a lot of them were going to retire from playing this. So everyone was on edge at each other's throats, and it was not a good last game. So let's talk about how our season went with this team. So it was definitely spotty for both me and Brandon because we were rookies. There were times where we didn't get to play a lot. I mean, hell, for most of the season, you only played kickoff and kick return, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, the only time I actually got into the game was against that team that we beat 64-0. I only played that game for a little bit. But, I'm hoping this year we'll change it all around, get some more playing time.
Mm-hmm. I played a bit. Sometimes there was a few games I didn't play at all, and it really pissed me off because especially like I drove 2 hours to play football and I didn't play at all. It's one of those, yeah, we won, but it's also like I didn't play, so it's like, why the hell was I even there? But when I did play, there were times where, with both me and Brandon, where we popped off. Like, whenever I played offense, I was popping off and not letting the guys get to the quarterback. Whenever I played defense, I would be good at plugging up the holes. I think I got a few tackles. You got a few tackles as well this year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it definitely sucked, though, because you could tell there was a little bit of favoritism with some of the players, because there were some people that were getting played that had been there like a year or 2 longer, but me or Brandon were obviously, like, we were better than them. Like, and that's not even like a toot my own horn. It's whenever we were in the game, you could see the difference. Like, we could look up stats and prove that, I was able to block people more often than this person, or Brandon was able to get more tackles or read the play better than the other person. So it did suck because there was a little bit of favoritism, but the time that we did play, we did really good. And I won't forget, though, because for most of the season, our head coach was actually mine and Brandon's first grade teacher. There was one time Brandon got hit hard. Like, didn't you say you don't even remember getting hit, right? You just saw, like, you didn't even see the guy, and then you just remembered you were on the bench?
No, I remember I was on the ground. I didn't know what happened.
Okay, so that happened. I see someone on the ground. I'm like, oh no. I see it's him because me and him were one of the few people with different colored cleats, because we just used like some of ours from high school or something. He had white and red cleats. I had blue and black cleats because those were the ones I used in high school. And I am a 6'8" man. I have a big shoe size, a size 16. I had a pair of cleats that fit. Our main colors were black and white, mainly black. So I wasn't able to find a pair of. Oh, you there?
You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was not able to buy a pair of size 16 cleats, or I didn't really want to, because like these ones work. I'll get some for next season. And so I see Brandon's cleats on the ground. And he also, at the time, were you wearing that arm sleeve, the pink one?
No.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember if I saw that or not. But I know I saw the cleats, saw he was on the ground. He was the only one on the ground. I dropped my helmet because I was on the sideline, and I booked it towards him. Helped him up and everything. I knew who the guy was that hit him. And the first chance I got, when I got back to there, I went up to the coach, looked him dead in the eyes, and say, you need to put me out on that field so I can get back for that kid that just got his ass, who just got laid out on his ass. Coach is like, all right, get out there. Few plays later, I see the dude. I think I was on defense. I think he was on offense. He was going for a block. Lowered my shoulder. Lit him up. And then after that hit, that guy was afraid to touch me. And that was actually when I got my very first tackle ever. Because the guy was afraid to touch me. Didn't touch me. The guy ran past him and I was able to get the tackle because the guy he was supposed to be blocking for didn't get the block.
Yeah, and then I went to the doctors the day after, and they said, yeah, you're fine. I'm like, oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, another thing about Brandon, he's had a few concussions already, so we were really scared he got another one. Because that was a big hit you took, though. Like, that was loud. When I heard that, I went, oh, shit.
Yeah, I told everyone at the practice that we had that week, they're like, are you playing this week? I'm like, yeah, why? And I'm like, why do you sound surprised? I'm like, I don't know, probably because I thought you were dead. And I'm like, no, I went to the doctors on Sunday, and then they said I didn't have a concussion. I feel like some of them thought I was lying, but which I was. I didn't really go to the doctors. I just went on with my life for a couple of days and see if I had any. Because, like you said, I've had many concussions. I know when I have one, when I feel
the signs.
Yeah, and I didn't have any of the signs.
Mm-hmm.
The only sign I really had was I was sensitive to light, but that's about it. That's what happens when you get hit hard.
Yeah, that happens a lot of times though when you hit your bell wrong. Like, it's happened to me before. I've gotten hit in the head square on the side of my face with a football. Everything went white for a second. Realized I was on the ground, got up, and then everything was just like, oh, damn, that's brighter than normal. And then after a few days, it goes away. But, yeah, that's just something when you get your bell rung. All right, so then I guess next thing that we could go on to is gaming. Mm-hmm. So, what are the games currently that are tickling your fancy?
Oh, Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is a pretty good one. I haven't beat the campaign yet, but the multiplayer needs some work on because there are some glitches in there.
Yeah.
And one thing that Activision needs to work on is that don't put any more corners and hallways.
There are so many corners, dude. Sorry.
Or like don't put corners anywhere.
Have everything just be a straight line.
Like I'm okay if like you're trying to snipe somewhere. Like if you're camping while sniping, like okay, whatever. But if you're just like sitting in the corner with like an RPG, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, you need to fuck off. Like you need to screw off for a bit.
Like there's that one like desert map. That's like mainly just open map, like open field, most of it at least.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still some places where you can just sit and just wait instead of being the aggressor.
Yeah.
Like I remember back in like the Black Ops 2 days, Black Ops 3 days, where I didn't have to worry about that. I just had to worry about, okay, is this guy better than me or not?
Yeah. Well, back in the day, you didn't need to worry about if a sniper was sitting there camping or not. You'd be worried about them being right in front of your face and quickscoping you.
Yeah.
Over anything. Like, there was no, oh, I'm worried this dude's camping. I'm worried he's going to come out of nowhere and scare the hell out of me and kill me.
Yeah.
another game that me and you both heavily got into and played for a good 2 months before we made any progress on our ranked Rocket League. So me and Brandon, we have quite a few buddies who are platinum and above in Rocket League, and a few months into it I found out platinum is like the average Rocket League player, and we were stuck in gold for a good 2 months. Like, we got to like gold, we got to like, what was it, gold 1, got to gold 2 no problem, hit gold 3, bounced back and forth for that for like a month between gold 3 and high gold 2, got to gold 4, and then we're stuck between gold 4 and gold 3. Couldn't get 4. Yeah, sorry. Could not get to platinum for the life of us for like 3 months straight. And then this most recent season, we actually hit platinum, and we've actually stayed in there. Can you tell me, because I know how I feel about it, can you tell me how rewarding, how satisfying it felt to finally see that little platinum icon instead of the same gold one we've been staring at for like half a year?
I was able to rest my eyes in peace.
Yeah, because you hit platinum before I did. Because I was one division below you.
Yeah.
You hit platinum. I got so hyped. Because that meant one more game. Because I wasn't even like a full division behind him.
You were game.
Yeah. Because the way that Rocket League works, at least in ranked, is you basically, you have the ranks. So, like, an example, we'll go with gold. Because that's one me and him stayed in for the longest time. You have gold. You have the other ranks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 being the lowest, 3, right? 1 being the lowest, 4 being the highest.
4.
Yeah.
For divisions, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then gold, and then like the ranked portion, it's 1 to 3.
Okay, so you got gold 1 to 3, and then you can have like gold 3 division 2. Or gold 3 division 1 is the lowest, right?
Yeah.
So to be the highest in a rank would be gold 3 D4. Each division you basically have 2 games. So if you're a gold 3 division 3, like you just hit division 3, you have to win 1 game, and then you're basically at division 3.5. And then if you win another one after that, you go up to division 4. So I was that like half behind Brandon. He was at gold 3 division 4.5. If he wins one where he goes to his platinum, I was at the beginning of division 4. So he hit platinum. So I knew if we won one more game, that I would rank up to platinum as well. And it didn't happen. And we lost the next game. And I was so upset because I was so close. And then I think another 2 games after that, I finally hit platinum, I think. Because I was so angry.
Like we hit that, and then we just kept getting like a losing streak going. I'm like,
yeah. But you never got out of platinum.
No.
Usually when you go up another rank, it because it put you in plat 2, right? It puts you in like the second one or whatever, like middle.
I was in plat 1.
Oh, I thought it put you up to plat 2.
Plat 1 and then division 2.
Oh, that's what it was.
Unless you got your like ass carried to you that last game, then it puts you into division 1.
Mm.
Like, okay, we don't know. Like, we'll give you the rank, but we don't know if you're good enough to be in this rank.
Yeah. Which, whenever me and you played, you hard carried on points. But I want to attribute that half to myself. Not because it's like you're not good at scoring, you are fantastic at scoring. But there was a lot of goals that my setup was why you were able to get the goal, because it was such a perfect setup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a good support character.
Yeah, like, that's what I tell everybody is, if you want to win, do not expect me to get the goals. I can help you get the goals, but I can't score for shit half the time. There are some times where I'm, like, just popping off, and I've got 5 goals or whatever, but that's very rarely. Most of the time, it's me setting up the goals for Brandon and him hitting those, and that's why we're like, hell yeah, we are the perfect team. Excuse me. All right, so then another thing that we have both done is streaming. You want to tell me more about that? How that? Because I know you haven't streamed in a while. I haven't streamed in a while. But when you were streaming a bit, how was that going for you? Like, were you gaining traction like you wanted to? Were people coming in and chatting? Was your Twitch channel very lively? Or were you kind of just sitting there with nobody watching?
I was pretty much sitting there with nobody watching. Like, I would like to get back into it, but with me getting this new place, not having Wi-Fi right now, it's a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I would, like, in the future, try to get back into it.
Yeah. I'm going to get back into it, especially with this podcast stuff. I'd like to get back into it as well. There was... I talked about this a little bit with JB the other day. Our old channels on YouTube. So, because I was talking to him about it. Because remember how he has this channel with like his one Pokemon video? It doesn't even have audio, it's just gameplay.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Headhunters channel that I don't remember the info for, that hasn't been posted on in like 2 years. And then like my personal channel, which by the way, except for the Headhunters, that's the only hint anyone has gotten for any of these channels. I'm not telling the rest of what it is. We have not exposed your channel, my channel, or JB's. We have not exposed any of them, so you do not have to worry. Just don't expose it yourself if you don't want people knowing. We talked about...
There's just clips of games that I've made on my Xbox.
I remember the way that you did it for one game, because it was back when you had an Xbox 360, for a lot of them at least.
Oh, yeah.
The Diablo 3 videos that you used to do.
Yeah.
This man, we were in like 7th grade, like 12 or 13 years old. He would set up his phone, have it angled, facing his TV, click record, and play the game. Like, that is some, like, stuff you hear about OG YouTubers doing back in, like, 2010. Right. And there's also a video of us... We were 12. We tried to make, like, a skit. And it was so awful. Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
I mean, way back when, us doing it at that time, you're like, oh, this is going to be so amazing. Let's do it. And then today, we're like, oh my God, why do we even think of this?
Now we're like, oh.
And we can't even get rid of it because we don't know what it's on.
Well, I know what it's on, but I don't think you have that's the issue. Anything of us from back then that we have on there when we're younger, we don't know the information to those channels, so we can't even get back on them to delete them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of.
The other channel that you did though, with like your newer stuff did pretty good because you did like a UFC video on it, I think. I
did gaming clips of some of the stuff that I got over the years on my Xbox.
Here we go. You got 3 videos.
Oh, I thought I only had 2.
You got 3. Xbox gaming clips, Madden 20 clips, and one that says, listen to this TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Now, if I look at your wait, no, shit, I can't even show you like that. Surprise video for Brandon, 60 views, 6 years ago. Worst player on...
You got 6 views?
Huh?
You got 6 views?
60.
Oh, that's a lot.
Worst player on Chrissy Road instead of Crossy Road. 31 views 6 years ago. Demon Hunter 6 years ago. Diablo 3 6 years ago. And then you have a short of you talking about your
Yeah.
Vine that we used to
Yeah.
do. Because back when we were doing
Yeah.
this, it was like 2015, 2016 when Vine was still a thing. And I'll never forget the video because you were doing it in your room, and neither of our parents knew we were trying to do Vine or YouTube at the time. So you were so quiet. So you're like, "Hey guys, check out my Vine that I'm doing with my buddy." Like, you weren't even fully talking. You were just like whispering it almost at that point.
Yeah, and at that time I had my bunk bed still.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I miss that. Honestly, I miss that a little bit. Like, yeah, so he used to have a bunk bed. And me and him, like I said before, we have been friends for a really long time. You know, his mom, oh, sorry about that. His mom treats me like one of her own kids. I would damn near, besides obviously his fiance, but of his friends, I would damn near say I am the favorite, if not one of the top favorites. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, he taking a sip.
Out of everyone up north, I don't know. Mom likes to change it. Because yesterday she said that Gwen was her favorite.
I swear to God, I'm going to have to kill him.
She changes it all the time.
That's true. But
She doesn't know how to make up decisions most of the time.
I do want to point out, though, I'm like the only one that she also introduces to everybody else as her third child.
Yeah.
So that's got to be something. So he used to have a bunk bed, and there were years, a few different years. Like, there was one year he basically spent the entire summer at my house. There was one year I basically spent almost the entire summer at his house. And that bunk bed has seen it all. It's seen the video games. It's seen us coming back there after playing outside, being all sweaty and hopping on the bed. It's seen us being dumb, falling off the bed, throwing shit up on the bed. It's seen everything. And I honestly miss that bunk bed. Especially mine. Remember mine as well? When I had my water bed on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I had an actual mattress, but my bunk bed came from my grandparents, and I have a fairly large family. This bunk bed has been through like 5 different people, with my aunts and uncles, and then it was with me, and I was the last one so there was a water bed on the bottom. That's what I slept on. So my actual mattress was up top, so Brandon was able to sleep up there. And that one was fun, especially the waterbed. That was really fun, because I remember going on the waterbed for the first time and you being there too, and you're like, dude, it's a waterbed!
I mean, I don't want to move.
Well, yeah, because at the time when we didn't know how to get off of it, if you moved, you got sunk. Like, you would sink. You didn't know how to get off the bed, so if you moved, you were kind of just stuck there.
It was like quicksand.
Yeah.
I tell you.
But it was fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
For real.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to get another waterbed. I miss those.
I know, your bed's looking good for you and your girl.
Yeah, I do have a king-size bed.
You didn't make a queen-size waterbed? Or a queen? You didn't make a queen-size waterbed?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably. But I have a king-size bed.
No.
And you know what's funny? Half the time it still isn't enough for me, her, and a dog.
Yeah.
Granted, though, me and the dog, when we sleep, we're just spread eagle, spread out all the time.
My fiance hates it.
You wouldn't think an 80-pound lab would take up so much space of the bed, but damn.
No, right?
He takes up more space than I do half the time.
My head's looking crazy.
You won't fix it?
I keep trying to tell her that I look like I'm emo and just dye my hair black.
You need to lay it down more, though.
Yes.
Also, if his camera quality is kind of iffy or kind of spotty, he is on his phone without Wi-Fi because, again, he is living in his new apartment. So there is a preface and apology.
We did talk about getting Wi-Fi here shortly, though. Like probably after this next bill, we're gonna look into it.
All right.
Like January, February, we're gonna have it sometime.
So you're saying there's like 1 to 2 months until we can actually play games together with you having decent Wi-Fi, and you're just gonna have shit hotspot for a bit.
Yep.
Damn.
Well, tomorrow I'm going over to her friend's house for a week, house sitting while she's gone, and she has Wi-Fi, and I'm just bringing my Xbox over. So you're gonna get a free trial, a 1 week trial.
1 week trial until it comes back in 2 months.
Yep.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Just a little bit more because we're at about 50 minutes. I want to just talk about if we can find anything real quick, just to like push it on, just so it can be just a little bit longer. Because I want to try and hit like an hour, but it's also going to be kind of a bitch to do that when it's just one-on-one stuff. All right, and a quick word from our sponsor. No, we have no sponsor. I'm just trying to fill the gap while he is talking to his fiance, and he is currently muted. So I do want to preface this. In the currently right now, there is a Discord for this podcast. I am not able to send out a custom invite link just yet because I need to boost it a little bit more. But
I would boost it, but I ain't got no money.
Yeah. Once I am able to, I will put the link of the Discord in the description of each video. Also in the, I believe it's the About or the Community page or tab or whatever on this channel. That way, anybody viewing, if you would like to, you can come join the Discord where there will be announcements on when podcasts are, which I believe I'm going to try and upload them every Saturday at 5 p.m. EST. Currently, we are filming this on Saturday, but I uploaded the very first episode of this podcast today, so we are currently just recording this so that I can edit it, and I will schedule it to upload next Saturday. Or I might do 2 podcasts a week sometimes if it's, if I'm just feeling up to it, if I want to. But once I can get that, I will get that custom link in the either in the tab, or I will put it in every single video, so if that's how you want to find it, instead of trying to scour around the channel for it, it will be soon in the description of these videos, and I will let you know in said video when it is in there, and I will also go back into previous videos and put them in the description. For him as well, I'm also going to tag his Twitch. Would you like your Instagram plugged as well?
No.
Okay, you just want your Twitch?
Yeah, that's fine.
I will put his Twitch in the description below as well. I will put mine as well. And one thing that I would like to preface, and before we get on to... Actually, I'll do it at the end of the video. So, do you have anything that you would like to ask me towards the end of this podcast?
Why do you have to bring that pressure on me, man? How is work going? Like, I know you haven't been there in like a week or a few days, but I don't know, how's it?
It's not. It could be worse. It's money. It's a job. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because I currently have COVID. I'm going back Monday. I just got to wear a mask for a bit because that's a requirement for work. And afterwards, I am going to be going to get a physical for my medical card for truck driving for my CDL. And then I'm going to start trucking school. And then after that, after I pass that, because I'm not great at school, but trucking school is a lot of hands-on stuff. That's what I'm good at. Once I can get my CDL, it's going to be a lot better because I'm not going to be stuck in the shop, basically being the shop bitch, cleaning and doing, taking out garbages, all that type of stuff. Once I am able to get my CDL, I will also be making a bit more money, so life will just be a lot better after getting it. But it was kind of put on hold because of COVID, and it kind of sucks, and I hate it. But besides that, work isn't going too horrible. I'm legit just cleaning. That's all I had been doing. I've been sweeping, cleaning trucks, cleaning rooms. That's all I've been doing, honestly. Shoveling snow off the steps and everything so no one else had to, for the office ladies and all the other entrances. But besides that, I've just been doing my thing at work, just going day by day until all I can really do at this time is just bide my time until I'm able to do everything else.
So I remember you telling me that you did T-ball a few years back, like way back when. I think it was before we even met.
2010 was my last year at T-ball.
Yeah, I wanna some more input on that.
Oh,
I know the reason you had to quit, and it's a valid reason.
Yeah. So the reason I actually, at least for the viewers, the reason I quit was I have grown up around farms and animals my entire life, and especially horses. My family has owned horses. I rode horses and I showed them. Not the prissy proper ones. The ones I did were the speed shows. Basically, you have a certain thing you have to do, a pattern. There'd be a lot of people think barrel racing. There's 3 barrels. You got to go around all 3 of them, and you got to get back. Fastest time wins. That's what I did with speed shows. So the reason I quit T-ball was because it was during the same time that I was doing horse showing. So I had to choose either horse showing or baseball. I enjoyed horse showing more than I did baseball and T-ball, so then I decided after that season I was going to be done. And I focused on horse showing, and good thing I did because I went hard for quite a few years. For 3 years especially, was on my own doing it. Because when I was younger, it was just this thing called lead line where you're on your horse and your parent, led the horse around. Basically, you got a participation trophy. It made kids feel good because they were showing and all that stuff. Then as you get older, you start doing it yourself after you get past a certain age. I did it for 3 years. Won second place overall my first year. Won first place overall both my second and third year. After that, I just got burnt out on horse riding because... And I don't want this to sound horrible. My mom pushed me to ride and practice every single day for, I think it was at least an hour or 2 every day. Like, she made me practice. Which, and I don't say this as in like it sucked, this and that. It made me one damn good of a rider. I also had one damn good of a horse. Because she also showed horses for many years. And her horse was the one that I was riding and doing barrel shows with. So it was a very experienced horse. My mom was very experienced in speed showing. She's a very knowledgeable person on horses in general. And she was also my coach. So her pushing me to practice every day, again, it made me one damn good rider. And my second and third year, I think my second year, I got first place by a little bit. It was one of those like, oh yeah, I got first place. Not by a whole lot, but I did. Third place, I was so far ahead everybody else in points it wasn't even funny. So, yeah, and then after that, I was like, okay, one, I'm getting taller. It's harder to ride the horse. He was a little bit on the shorter side of, a full-sized horse. And overall, I was just like, all right, I don't want to show horses anymore. I still want to ride them occasionally because they've been such a big part of my life, but I do not want to show them anymore. I'm kind of burnt out. But going back on T-ball, what exactly do you want to know about it?
From your knowledge, how was it to you?
Like, how enjoyable was it?
What?
How enjoyable was it?
Yeah, like how you remember it? Like how much do you like playing T-ball?
I really gotta think this was like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It was fun, especially because I was a very social child, so I just got to hang out with friends. It was a lot of fun, but it is T-ball. There's not a lot of challenge to it. So I was actually getting bored half the time because I was kind of just standing there while other kids were trying to hit the ball off the tee and they couldn't. And I'm over thinking, like, it is sitting still. How can you not hit it? You're not even using a heavy bat. It is like the lightest bat you can get as a child to play T-ball. And you're not hitting it.
It's like one of those plastic bats that you always give kids. You know what I'm talking about?
Not one of those. It was an actual bat. I think they were metal bats, but it was still like the smallest, lightest metal bat that you could get, almost like the plastic ones.
Yeah, I got one of those. Actually, I don't. I left it at Mom's house.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did do coach pitch for a while, actually.
I got my old baseball bat I used all through high school. Right here.
Oh, how many dings you got?
How many dinks?
Yeah, how many dents?
There's a lot of dark. It's bent. It's a little bent. Like, right here.
Yeah, I can see it. Just slightly.
Yeah.
My God, man. Alright, well that's about an hour, so should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Alright, well, again, thank you, Brandon, for coming on this podcast. It was a very short notice. I know it was only a few hours, like 2 hours beforehand, and I asked him, and he was kind enough to come on and talk to me and provide entertainment for everybody else. Again, I will plug his Twitch in the description below, and once again, when I can get the invite code for the Discord, I will put it in the description of all the videos, and on the either About or Community tab on YouTube. I don't remember which one it is. I know there is one, and it's called one of those two. I'm also going to put I'm going to put my Twitch in the description as well. Along with, I'm going to be creating an Instagram for the Viewer Discretion Advised podcast. I will be putting that in the description, either this video or next video. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my girlfriend, who is currently doing the channel art and is one of the mods for my Discord. She's doing the channel art for this channel. The thumbnail for the very first episode of this podcast she made, and I would like to give a round of applause and a big thank you to her. You're welcome. All right, well, this has been the Viewer Discretion Advised podcast. My buddy Brandon, or HHPurge, is here, or he was here, and he gave me his time, so thank you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, year, rest of your life, and thank you for watching, whether it be in the morning, evening, while you're trying to fall asleep but you can't, while you're taking a shit, while you're eating food. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all in the next video. Take care.